What is going on, warriors and farmers of Tamaris? Back again with another Call of Dragons video. In today's episode, we are going to check out the ultimate guide for LILIYA in 2026. Is she still worth it? Is she still cooking enemies like she used to do in the past? That is something that we're going to have to find out today. The video is going to show you 3 different pairings you can use with LILIYA. We got different talent trees that you can use with each one of the pairings. Gonna show you guys the 2 styles of warped builds that you can use for LILIYA in 2026. We also have good artifacts to use with the hero depending on the pairings that you're gonna bring to the table. I got some tips and tricks to show you guys about LILIYA as well. If you are still new here, make sure you like, share, subscribe, leave some comments down below. And as always guys, there will be chapters at the bottom. You can skip to a specific topic that you are looking for. Let's get straight to the video. Alright, warriors of Tamaris, let us find out if LILIYA is still cooking in 2026. We're gonna go straight to the skills. We won't take a lot of time here. Now the raid skill known as the Flames of Vengeance says LILIYA is gonna do 1200 damage factor to 3 targets. She's gonna get 50% chance to scorch the main target. When the main target is scorched, LILIYA is gonna do an additional 200 damage factor every second for 5 seconds. The total is 1000 extra damage, which is very crucial. Now this is going to lead us to skill number 4. Skill number 4 says LILIYA is going to get a 30% chance to scorch 2 nearby enemies when the main target is scorched. Now this is very important. So here is a simple tip and trick when you're using LILIYA on the field to get a lot of damage. Try not to switch your targets all the time, because if you switch your target, you are going to reset your scorching. You need a raid skill to activate the scorching effect. So if you're hitting a single target, try to stay locked onto the target. That way, if you scorch that target, you have a chance of scorching 2 nearby enemies in that 5-second interval. Now, if you keep switching your targets, you're going to miss out on the scorching. Sometimes when you fight in the open field PvP, you get too excited. You have so many juicy, fresh mages in front of you that you want to burn with fire. So you just keep on clicking. And when you do that, you're going to be using different raid skill on different legions. So it's going to force you to miss out on the scorching effect, the extra 30%. Because 30% is not that big. But over a 5-second interval on the same target, you should be able to trigger it. And that's going to be fantastic for your legion. Now when it comes to skill number 3, it is pretty much straightforward. You get a magic unit attack bonus of 20%. It's very crucial for mages, and you have a magic unit HP bonus of 10%. This is going to help you with survivability on the field. These are some of the things that make LILIYA so great for PvP. Now LILIYA is going to be the cheapest hero in Call of Dragons at just $200. You can max her out from the VIP. So try to get this hero maxed out as fast as possible. Her awakening is going to allow her to add an additional target. So instead of hitting 2 targets, you will be hitting 3 targets to get even more damage. So this hero is still red hot in 2026. She is still considered the 2nd best mage after Yun Ming. Now we're gonna go on to the next topic, which is the best pairings for LILIYA in the current state of the meta. There are 3 possible candidates to pair up with LILIYA in the current state of the game. The game has been out for over 2.5 years now, if you consider the global release. Now, these heroes have been tested in the last 2 years, give or take. The first one that comes to mind is going to be a THEIA. THEIA is going to be very good with LILIYA because she's got shields that gives merits. She is going to be a good support hero, and she's going to help you against those tanks who just do some crazy counter attack that make you cry. Next one on the list is going to be Mr. VELYN. Now VELYN has some good crit rates that's going to help LILIYA a lot. And then we got BAHORN. BAHORN is kind of like a mix between VELYN and THEIA. He's going to be very defensive for your lineup. He is going to do great with LILIYA. At this current state of the game, we got so many heroes to put in different places, which is why we are only looking at the 3 heroes to pair up with LILIYA as of right now. Now when it comes to pairing, the #1 pair for LILIYA in the current state of the game is Mr. VELYN. That is because THEIA is with Mu Xiang and the Visage of the Sanctus. So this is Musiang with the Visage of the Sanctus. You're going to pair her with THEIA for one of the best mage marches in the game. And then you're going to have LILIYA and the VELYN. Okay, I think I passed VELYN. I think you get the idea. We're going to have LILIYA and VELYN. You can also have LILIYA and BAHORN. Now, different people have different opinion about these two heroes. But as of right now, you should go with VELYN as a safe bet because this is what most people are using. With the pairings out of the way, let us go and check out the two different talent trees that you can use, because there is a talent tree for LILIYA and THEIA in case you decide to go in this direction, and there is a talent tree for LILIYA and VELYN or LILIYA and BAHORN. So let us find out which one we're going to check out first. So we go LILIYA and THEIA. The talent tree to use with THEIA is as follows. So I think I saved it over here. Okay, I marked it as THEIA. So all the way on the left hand side, you make sure you grab Orb of Protection. So when you cast a rage skill, you're going to have a chance to get a shield. When you get a shield, you're going to trigger the Lex Lucis skill for THEIA and help you get more attack for your Legion. So this is going to be the first talent tree for the LILIYA and the THEIA. So we're going to keep looking at it. Let me try and shrink it so you can take a screenshot if you want. Now, there are some things that you need to know about this talent tree as well. The first one is going to be at this point, you got Boiling Blood and you got Spirit of Rage. So you're going to use Spirit of Rage with THEIA because THEIA doesn't have a rage skill damage factor. And then we go to the last 2 points, which is also very, very important. We got two very good skills here. Many people choose different ones. So let's see them one by one. So the first one is Thirst for Blood. It says, when casting a rage skill, your Legion deals additional hero skill damage to the target Legion. Damage factor 60. So when you have this skill and your LILIYA casts a rage skill, she's going to get additional damage factor of 60. And then when THEIA casts a rage skill, she's going to get an additional damage factor of 60, which is just good for this pairing. Now, the reason you don't pick the second one, which is Caged Animal, is because only LILIYA is going to be benefiting from this skill in this lineup with the LILIYA and the THEIA. So LILIYA is going to cast a rage skill the first time. She's going to get 0.5% more damage to her rage skill. And then THEIA is going to cast a rage skill, but she's going to get nothing because she doesn't have any rage skill damage factor. Which is why when you use this first one, Thirst for Blood, you get 60 damage factor for LILIYA and you get 60 damage factor for THEIA. And you just keep on going like that. And when you're switching targets all the time, this is going to be very, very crucial for your lineup. So this is the first talent tree for LILIYA and the THEIA. The next talent tree that we're going to have a look at is going to be LILIYA and anyone who pretty much does a rage skill in the lineup. So I got it here listed as skill and hero. Now we got the 1 point that's left over. You're going to dump it on the infantry counter tactics because as of right now, everybody and their grandma is sending Kuma and Goresh on the field with the likes of the Lakewan and the Skogul. Too many infantry everywhere. So you put that 1 point here to get more damage. Now we're going to go to this node right here. Previously, we took this one for THEIA. Now we have heroes in the lineup who can cast an actual rage skill and do a rage skill damage factor. So Boiling Blood is going to be very useful and help them do some more damage when LILIYA casts a rage skill. And then as you can see here, I decided to switch these two skills now. Previously, I picked this one for THEIA. Now, you're going to pick this one for a LILIYA VELYN or a LILIYA BAHORN. Now, why is this the case? When LILIYA casts a rage skill, she's going to get 0.5% damage. And then when VELYN casts his rage skill, he's going to get 1% additional damage. The cycle is just going to keep continuing like that until you get to the maximum 8% additional damage in the lineup. But this is going to take a very, very long time. So if you're going to use LILIYA and someone who is going to do an actual hero skill damage factor, this second Caged Animal would be the best way to go. So LILIYA VELYN or LILIYA BAHORN, this is what you go with. If you go with LILIYA and the THEIA, you might want to take Thirst for Blood because THEIA is also going to benefit from this one. So this is the talent tree that I have for this LILIYA in 2026. This is what you use for LILIYA and skill tree heroes. I mean, skill heroes. And then this is what you use for LILIYA and the THEIA. So pick the one that fits you best. In terms of the march speed, you can change the march speed based on your needs. Many people have different march speed requirements. You can go for this one here, which is foresight, which is pretty good. Or you can take an extra normal attack depending on your needs. So these are the talent trees for LILIYA in 2026. Up next, we're going to check out the best artifacts to use with LILIYA in 2026. Ooh, this lady can burn people. You don't want to piss her off. You need to ask Alistair, man. There's a reason he's got one eye. I think he tried to seduce LILIYA and LILIYA is like, okay, I'll take your eye. Okay, so let's go over here to the WARPETS. You know what? We were talking about the artifact. What am I doing, man? Okay, so here is the artifact. The Infernal Flame. I only have it at level 4. I've been waiting to get it just from, you know, regular luck, end of season compendium and stuff like that. Or duplicate from, what is it called? Exemplar. Anyways, this is the artifact that you use with LILIYA in 2026. It is still a powerhouse. It does so much damage, you don't want to mess with it. Infernal Flame, absolutely brilliant. No wonder they call it Terrifying Inferno. So this is the artifact that you use with LILIYA. The good thing is, this artifact is going to be available in the Titan Legacy, in case you didn't know. Now let me show you. We go to the rewards. If you don't have money to unlock this artifact, you can buy the Insight Rune. I think it's around $9.99 US. And then you wait at the end of the season. You get to this chest. And as you can see here, we got Infernal Flame in the building. You can now pick this artifact. So this is how you can get the artifact maxed out without selling your kidney. The last topic of the video is going to cover the WARPETS. The WARPETS are very, very important in Call of Dragons. You need to take them seriously. There is one WARPET that you need to use with LILIYA, and that WARPET is the Sapphire Frederick. With the Sapphire Frederick, you have the skill known as the Intense Pain Bloom. Each time you inflict Scorch, Horrorfrost, or Ensnare on one enemy legion, Pain Bloom deals more damage the next time it is cast. This is the build that you use with LILIYA and the VELYN. If you have LILIYA and VELYN in the lineup, you are going to use Intense Pain Bloom. VELYN is going to trigger this thing without requiring rage skills, so he's going to let you do even more damage in the lineup with the Intense Pain Bloom. So this is the build you use with VELYN, and in this one spot, I only got 7 spots, but over here, you can add one more skill known as the Magic Spirit. Now where is the Magic Spirit? What does it look like? Okay, sometimes these things, they hide. When you're making content, you don't really see them. Okay, so right here, this is the Magic Spirit that you're gonna add here in skill slot number 8 to get the maximum effect. So this is the talent tree for LILIYA and the VELYN. On the contrary, when you are using LILIYA and THEIA or LILIYA and BAHORN, you're gonna remove this Intense Pain Bloom. It's going to use Intelligence, and you're going to bring the other Intelligence crit skill known as the Elemental Harmony. So you put Elemental Harmony, it's going to work together with Magic Spirits to punish your enemies and make them suffer. Or you can put a different skills if you want. Otherwise, Elemental Harmony is the way to go. It is what the top players are using right now. You remove Intense Pain Bloom if you don't have VELYN in the lineup, if you're going to use it with BAHORN and THEIA. So this is the WARPETS that you use with LILIYA. Now you have another alternatives, which is the 4 Sand Lizard system that is currently running in Call of Dragons. Now I have a Sand Lizard here that you can copy if you want to build for your LILIYA. It should be this one. Yep, this is what a typical Mage Sand Lizard look like. You can take a screenshot, you can copy it, you can build it for your LILIYA. If you're going to go with 4 Sand Lizards in your lineup. And I think we have covered everything that we really need to know about LILIYA in Call of Dragons. She is still a powerhouse in 2026. The one hero who can like beat her in merits and stuff is going to be Mr. Yunming. Yunming is in a class of his own. He's like someone from Krypton or something. He can just do some crazy damage. But overall, LILIYA is considered the second best mage in the whole of Call of Dragons. And you should try your best to max this hero as fast as possible if you plan on playing mages. She is gonna be here for a very long time. So many heroes in the mage roster are going to be switched and dropped, but not LILIYA. She's just gonna remain a powerhouse for a very long time. So this is all I gotta say about LILIYA, guys. One thing we're gonna talk about again is the scorching effect. Just make sure you don't switch your targets all the time. I mean, you don't have to, but if you want to get more damage from the scorching effect, make sure you keep hitting the same target. Sometimes you have a lot of enemies in front of you and you get too excited. You just keep on clicking random enemies everywhere. Just remain on the same target. That way, when you scorch that target, you have a 30% chance to scorch 2 nearby targets and get even more damage with your LILIYA. So this is all that you need to know about LILIYA in 2026. Still a powerhouse. What do you guys think of this guide? Do you still play LILIYA? Let me know down below in the comment section. Oh, there is one more thing that I forgot to show you guys in the talent tree. I think I need to address this. It's going to be related to the LILIYA and the THEIA talent tree. We got this skill right here, which is the steady hands. Try to stay away from this skill if you're going to use LILIYA and THEIA, because this skill is going to interfere with the rage skill for THEIA. THEIA is going to bring 15% hero skill damage boost, but when you have this skill and you trigger it with the chances written here, you're going to interfere with the THEIA additional skill boost. So you don't want to pick this skill. The 1 point that you have left, you always drop it in Orb of Protection. So that's it for the video, guys. Thank you guys for watching. This is LILIYA in 2026. Until then, see you guys in the next video. Bye bye for now.